Firstly, welcome. This is home.
Yeah.
It's good to see you back in the RCB jersey, and more importantly, in a cricket jersey.
Yeah.
6 months, no cricket. How difficult was it to live without something that's so integral to your life?
A couple of months ago, you could not even imagine that you'd have IPL firstly, and then things started opening up and things started getting together, and we saw other tournaments take place. So got a bit of confidence from that. Now, when we had our practice session yesterday, is the time I realized how long it's been.
Yeah.
When I was heading to the practice session, I felt nervous. I felt a bit jittery, but things were okay. I didn't miss the game as much as I thought I might. Maybe because I had been going on for 9-10 years before that, and this was the only break I was ever gonna get, and that long. So yeah, but it was a revelation for me as well. It was surprising that my focus was not solely on how I'm missing the game all the time, and just carrying on with life and doing other things and understanding this is just a part of life.
So which obviously means you spent a lot of time in the quarantine or during the social distancing phase with the lockdown. You were at home.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are very curious to know, how did you spend your time? What did you do?
Well, the best thing was Anushka and myself were at home. We never got so much time to spend together since we started seeing each other, to be honest. This was the longest we got to spend together, and just being home, just being in your own home, with the one you love, you couldn't ask for anything better, and we just made the most of that whole time. Created a bit of a routine for ourselves. We didn't force ourselves to, we didn't feel pressurized to say, oh, this one's learning this and this one's picking up that hobby, so we should also do something and, learn some. It is what it is. I mean, you're going through a phase in life where life has stopped. It has become slow.
Yeah.
So we stopped seeking things that keep us engaged and, that keep us sort of working towards something. We just accepted it. And we were at peace being at home together, and it was just a lovely time, just a normal time for both of us. Yes, it was tough initially, but then we got used to it. Eventually, we get used to things.
So you've always taken responsibility for your actions, and it also showed recently on that Zoom call that went, from our handles, everybody's seen it, the team discussing the whole COVID situation, and you said, we need to be responsible. Now that's you, but do you think somewhere it puts pressure on the younger guys, or do you think they all understand because you've interacted with them?
Not really. I mean, look, I understand that, you might not have had the most sort of balanced understanding of things.
Yeah.
You might not have had clarity initially.
Yeah.
I didn't have clarity about so many things when I was, coming up the ranks, but now I don't think it should be a thing of pressure, to be honest. I mean, if someone guided me in that direction, telling me what's the right thing to do, or when I was coming up the ranks, I would have loved it. If I had a clear message and a vision in front of me, I would have said, boss, this is what I want to follow.
Yeah.
So in this situation, what I said on the Zoom call, I don't think it should be a thing of pressure for anyone, because the magnitude of the situation is such.
Yeah.
And we are all here to eventually play cricket, take care of this tournament, take care of our surroundings that we are in. The bio bubble needs to be respected at all times for the tournament to happen. Eventually, we are here because we have the opportunity to play.
Yeah.
We are not here to have fun and roam around and say, oh, I want to hang out in Dubai and all that. That is not the time we are living in. So we have to accept the phase that we are going through and understand the privilege that we have in front of us, which is, just to be a part of the IPL, and everyone should accept that and not have desires that make them behave in a manner which the situation doesn't require them to.
What you're essentially saying is that call, you were almost like a mentor guiding them, right? Which is great, and it looks like the support staff as well this year in the team, they're going to be taking up similar roles. Do you think they're going to have a massive part this year?
Absolutely, and both Mike and Simon and Adam, along with the other support staff that have joined in. They all seem pretty balanced. They all seem pretty clear in what they want.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're very respectful of the fact that they need to manage people in a certain way, but also setting a very, very clear, very forthright culture in front of them, that this is where you need to go. We will help you along the way, but the culture will not change because of individual preferences. And I think that's the most important part of any successful team, that once you set a culture right, which is of excellence, which forces you and pushes you to be the best version of yourself every day, at the same time having fun and understanding people along the way, I think that is the balance that these guys have created wonderfully till now, and I'm sure they'll keep continuing to do so, because they don't seem like the people that will sort of waver when there's pressure or waver.
They're very firm.
Yeah, they're very firm. They're very clear on where they want to go, and they'll take the team along as well, and not sort of just walk away when things get difficult. Right. So that's the sense I've gotten till now, and it's a good feeling to have people like that.
We're talking about rock solid people. The other element is the fans. I'm very curious about this. A lot of kids who come up from domestic cricket, when they go to international cricket, it's the crowds and they're overwhelmed.
Yeah.
For you, it's the other way around. You're going from crowds to absolute silence. Is that going to get you nervous? I mean, how much of a part does it really play? I'm assuming a massive part.
I won't deny the fact that it's going to be difficult initially. It's going to be strange.
It's going to be new, right?
It's going to be new.
Yeah.
Of course, it's going to be new.
Yeah.
Just the echo of the ball hitting the bat. I mean, I haven't experienced that since playing Ranji Trophy cricket back in 2010 is the last time I experienced it. So for 10 years, I haven't had a game where I'm not hearing the crowd. But look, again, I would go back to the point that we have done this at some stage in our life. Right. So it's important to remember that, rather than saying, oh, but for 10 years I'm used to this now and I won't do it if there's no crowd. So when you have an option, you choose an option. And we do have an option that we have done it in the past. Mm-hmm. So take your attention there. Understand, even when those games you were playing, you were just wanting to perform and just play for the love of the game.
Yeah.
So that needs to be dear to everyone, and I think the crowd factor will definitely play a part. But once you get into the game, I don't think we all love the game so much, and we're just naturally on the field doing what we do best. So I think the instincts will kick in, and the crowd factor will diminish quite quickly once we get into the action.
It's interesting that there's no crowds this time around, and you said you'd get used to that. But there's another thing, which is there was a call that all of us went on, cricket players, non-cricket players, support staff, where there was a mandate that said no high fives, no patting on the back. How are you guys going to celebrate? I mean, you're so animated on the field, right?
Look,
you're running in, you're holding people when they take a wicket. This time around, it's going to be like you run in and then you're like, oh no, we can't do this.
To be honest, people that are in your own bubble.
Yeah. But that's okay.
Look, at training you can't. It's common sense right now. Like when I've seen the bio bubble being respected in the series that England played as well.
Yeah.
You see those guys celebrating. Where you can. Obviously, after the game is done, obviously you have fist bumps or touch the elbow with the other team, and it makes sense because they're two different bubbles. But I think the players have celebrated, and I would say that moment where you've just taken a wicket, those 4 or 5 people around you that come to you first are the ones who have sort of patted and just given high fives and stuff, and the others that walk after. When things mellow down a bit, I've seen them doing fist bumps and all that. So I think it has to be a balance. You can't just go berserk like, we're going to do whatever we want and just celebrate like the old times and all that. Yeah. We're all sensible people. We'll maintain a balance. We'll be practical about things. We won't go berserk saying this is our moment and just unleash and do what you want on the field. It's not a playground at the end of the day. We need to be wary of what is required of us. It's not like kids being sent to a park and just start playing now, do what you want.
Yeah.
So I think we'll be able to maintain a good balance. I'm sure about that.
And finally, congratulations
Thank you.
on the big announcement.
Thank you.
Must be an incredible feeling.
It is, yes. I mean, as I said, there's puts things in perspective for you. Yeah, it's a beautiful feeling. That's all I can say. It's very difficult to describe how you feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, when we found out, obviously we were over the moon, and then when we announced recently the kind of love that was showered on us, and genuinely people were so emotional and happy for us. Yeah, we really looking forward to that third member joining the clan.
Thank you very much, Daddy Virat, for this interview. Thank you.